guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We're back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we shall be talking about Demon Slayer. Yes, one of the best animes going around the world. Season 2 just finished a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago. I just finished watching the full season. I watched the full first season, the movie, the second season, which is the same thing as the movie, just a little bit different. And then the third season, well, technically it's the second season, but I guess they're kind of in the movie as the movie, and the second official season as the movie. So the third season is actually the second season. I've seen all of that, and it's a fucking good anime. It's a very good anime. And so I decided, considering I'm off the high of watching Demon Slayer and knowing about Demon Slayer, before I lose any of my memory about this show, let me do a top 10 Demon Slayers list. And when I mean top 10 Demon Slayers, this is going to include top 10 demons, slayers, and Hashira. So this is going to be a very, very interesting list. Starting off at number 10 is the Demon Lord himself, Muzan Kobayushi. I definitely did not get that last name right, but Muzan, the leader of the demons, the one that everybody's after, the one that Tanjiro actually had a meeting with. The reason I got him at number 10 is just because he's the leader of the demons. He is a very cool guy. I mean, he can transform, he can shapeshift into anyone and act like that person, and nobody would suspect the thing, and he could just be quiet this whole time, and then when he's off in his own room, he could have a meeting with one of its demons. He did that when he had a meeting with Upper Moon Third, and he was a kid, and he just walked into his room and started reading his book, and then Upper Moon Third came in, and he had a whole conversation with it. It's just like, he can be that chill and have a normal life and have a conversation with a demon. That's pretty cool. I mean, that you gotta honestly say that is a pretty cool thing to have. So Muzan, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce his last name, the Demon Lord, is at number 10. Number 9, we have the master, or the soon-to-be master of thunder breathing. We have Zenitsu. Now, Zenitsu's only on this list is just because the other Hashira I could not really stand. I don't really like any other Hashira so far. I mean, when it comes to the future seasons of Demon Slayer, they'll probably make me like most of the Hashira. But the only one I would probably say besides the main two that I like that are going to be in this list is probably going to be the Mist one. The Mist Hashira, so that's the only one I probably really like right now. I don't like the Serpent, I don't like the Wind. The Rock, the Stone one is okay, and then the Love one kind of gets on my nerves. So I'm just going to be honest with that. But Zenitsu, the soon-to-be master of thunder breathing, oh my god. This man has so many levels. He can go from being a crybaby, not wanting to take his medicine and trying to get healthy, to be one of the most overpowered guys in the show. He can go from that to that within a snap. This man was fighting against demons, and he was asleep. Zenitsu was asleep, and this man was fighting against demons. And this man when it comes to the person that he cares about, he will protect him, because once he found out about Nezuko, he protected Nezuko with his life. Like, he protected Nezuko with his life. The only thing that downgrades me for him, that I would have him above, like higher on this list, is due to the fact that the way he acts around women. And he basically thinks that all the women like him and they're gonna miss him once he leaves. That's how he did with the 3 little women that were at the butterfly house. The butterfly garden. Yeah, the butterfly mansion. That's what it was called. The 3 little ones, and then the one that helped him get back his strength. He basically thought that they were gonna miss him. They were just being nice, and he got it the wrong way. So I guess I can understand the way he's going through that. But considering the interaction he's had around girls, I mean, look at that. The next time after we see him the first time as Zenitsu, the next time is making a girl trying to marry him just because he thinks he's about to die on his next mission. It's kind of funny, but it also is kind of weird, because you're asking a woman who pointed out that she was engaged to being married to you, so she would have to break off her engagement with her husband to go be married to you, and you may even die. So yeah, Zenitsu is at number 9. Moving on my list is number 8. Surprisingly, is Urokodai, the teacher for Tanjiro and Tomioka. Oh man, when this man got introduced, this man was just like, you know what, I'm gonna make this guy. I see the potential in him. I see that he has he second guesses himself. I'm gonna train this guy and I'm gonna make him one of the top elite, and he eventually did. He trained Tanjiro, he made Tanjiro into what he is today, and we all gotta love him, because not only that, he took Nezuko in when she was a demon, and he even said that if Nezuko hurts a human, that he would do something he would take care of it himself. I can't say the word because I would get demonetized on YouTube. But he would do something himself if Nezuko were to ever hurt a human. So judging by that, the amount of faith that he has put in Tanjiro and Nezuko, it's just so good to see. And the fact that he trained him and he made Tanjiro and Nezuko into the way they are right now, he has to be on my top 10 list. There's no way he cannot be on my top 10 list. But he's at number 7 because the other people I just grew to like a bit more. Number 7. Speaking of Nezuko, it's her. Now Nezuko, a lot of the people out there love Nezuko, and I just want to say this: for the first 15 episodes, I was a big fan of Nezuko. I mean, Nezuko is adorable, so it's hard to not be a fan of Nezuko. But throughout the seasons, there were some other women that got introduced to the show that I started preference over her. So that's the reason I only have Nezuko really down this far. I would have put her Tanjiro. Funny enough, the way I put my top 10 list is like side by side, so her and Tanjiro are still together. So even on my list, even though they're not right back next to each other like 6 and 7, they're still right next to each other on my list. But Nezuko, the only reason I have her down this list is because the other women that got introduced later on in the show, and a character that ended up I didn't like in the beginning, but I loved at the end because of what they did with him. But Nezuko, adorable. I mean, her blood demon art is just absolutely fantastic. I've seen it so many times and I absolutely love it. The fact that she can turn things into flames and she can heat it up. She literally saved Tengen's life by doing that. And a lot of people thought that she was going to kill Tengen, but she ended up saving him, and he ended up retiring at the end of the season. Spoiler alert. Just wanted to say that really quickly. I mean, if you haven't seen the Entertainment District, Tengen does retire. So whoever hasn't seen that, that's your own fault. Number 6, we have Kano. Now, Kano, we all know, just from the fact that she was trained by Shinobu Kocho and her sister. She was taught by Shinobu's sister to flip a coin, and that would decide what she does. For a majority part of her life, she decided things by the coin. But it's something about the fact that she was so good, and she took down Tanjiro without even saying a word. She was that powerful that she took out Tanjiro without even saying a word. And then the next time we see her, she's in the Butterfly Mansion. She does not speak a word. Then we see them all training, and Shinobu, or is it Shinobu? No, it's the lady that was teaching them. I forget her name. I think it's Ayo. She was telling Kano to join them, and Kano flipped the coin and decided not to join them based off of what the coin flip ended up being. But then towards the end, Tanjiro ended up flipping the coin, deciding whether she would listen to her heart or not. Ended up being heads, so she ended up listening to her heart more. And then we see when the Entertainment District begins, we see Kano actually decide for herself instead of flipping a coin, and she tries to save the two medical people from Tengen basically kidnapping them and taking them with them, which ended up being Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu that ended up going with them. But just seeing the fact that Kano can now speak for herself and she can listen to her own feelings, it's just a very good thing. And the relationship that I see that's developing between her and Tanjiro, I love it, and I can't wait to see more of it once the next season of Demon Slayer comes out. Now onto my top 5. Number 5, I never thought I would put on this list, but it's Rengoku. And just from the fact that at the introduction of the Hashira, I didn't like any of them but 2. I didn't like any of them but 2. And those 2 have yet to come on my list. So, Rengoku, I just love the fact that Rengoku went from being, well, he was just basically going off of what was on his mind and what was on his heart, and he thought that, you know, like keeping Nezuko alive wouldn't be the right thing to do. But then we see the Mugen Train arc, and we actually start to see what is likable about Rengoku, and we actually start to see like Rengoku being a very, very popular character, and a lot of people started to like Rengoku. I myself started to like Rengoku, and then what they did at the end of the Mugen Train arc is just like, you introduced this character, you made everybody love him, and then you took him away from us. Like, come on. Rengoku was such a good character development. From the start where we see him in the Hashira meeting to where he finished, it was such a good character development. I wish we could see more the Flame Hashira. Oh man, I love my dog. I love my dog, Rengoku, bro. Rengoku, I hope his brother becomes a Demon Slayer, but I haven't read the manga at all, so I don't really know what happens. But Rengoku, definitely on my top 5, and I gotta have him on this list at my top 5. But number 4, we have Inosuke. Inosuke got introduced as basically a hothead, and his one is beast breathing, if I remember right. And he wears a boar mask, but this actually ended up saving him because during the Mugen Train arc, when they were fighting against the demon was trying to take control of him, but she couldn't see where he was looking, and so she couldn't really control him. So Inosuke was actually a very big part of the reason why Tanjiro, Rengoku, and all of them beat that demon before Rengoku ended up getting beat by Upper Moon 3rd. So Inosuke went from being introduced as a hothead to being likable because he would always try to be the best, and he would always try to be the winner of everything. He tried to take on a train and thought the train was actually a fight. Like, you gotta love that. He just thinks in his mind that he's gotta be the best at everything, and he's trained to be the best at everything. And out of the 3 of them, he's the second best at everything because obviously the best is Tanjiro. But still, we gotta love Inosuke, and we gotta love everything about him. Went from being a hothead to one of the most powerful Demon Slayers that are getting up there to be. And I can't wait to see the character development that it continues to do with Inosuke for the further seasons of Demon Slayer. Now into my top 3. My top 3 have all had interactions with each other, I think at the same time. Yeah, I think at the same time. Number 3 is Tomioka, the Water Hashira, the one with the most OP, overpowered 11th form. My friend told me about that 11th form, and I was like, alright, you know what, let me just check this 11th form out and see how it is. That thing was so overpowered. One of the lower 6 tried to attack him, and he didn't even get touched, and he just walked right, bro, he used his 11th form, just walked right up, bam, defeated, just like that. The fact that he, along with Urokodai, said he would take care of himself if Nezuko were to ever do something, and the fact that he put trust, he was the first person to put trust in Tanjiro and Nezuko before Urokodai did. Tomioka has been a likable character ever since he got introduced. Well, I mean, at the beginning he tried to get Nezuko, but ended up putting his faith in Tanjiro, sent them to train with Urokodai. They became trained, and then they came back when Tomioka tried to defend them when they were trying to be kidnapped because Tanjiro was traveling with the demon in companionship, which is against the Demon Slayer core rules. So Tomioka going against the rule, bad boy, barely even talks, but when he does, it's just badass. And then his 11th form, he just has to be in my top 3, but he can't be in my top 2. Number 2 on my list, it's Tanjiro. Yep, Tanjiro is not number 1 on my list. Tanjiro, the one that went into the village, came back, got stopped. Thankfully, he got stopped because he would have been slain along with his family. Ended up coming back, saving Nezuko. Nezuko turned into a demon, tried to kill him, and basically saved Nezuko from being captured by Tomioka. Ended up going to train with Urokodai, changed his way of being like Crybaby, actually learned water breathing, and then he learned sun breathing. Bro, this man has two things. He has water breathing and he has sun breathing, and he still hasn't perfected water breathing, but once he gets that 11th form, if he ever gets that 11th form, it's gonna be done. And the fact that he can still develop his sun breathing, he's one of the best characters in this show, and I don't care what anyone says, everybody has to agree that Tanjiro is one of the best characters in Demon Slayer. He's the main character in Demon Slayer, so obviously he has to be the best. That's like he's basically on the likes of Naruto and Goku, because they were all one of the best characters of their shows, and they're the main characters of the show. So I had to put Tanjiro on my list at number 2, just from the fact that he has all these cool forms. He's changed the person that he was at the beginning of the show, and he has 2 breathing forms. He has sun breathing and he has water breathing. That's just freaking OP. But he can't be number 1 on my list, because at number 1 on my list, the only Hashira besides the stone to not use a sword and kill demons is Shinobu Kochu. One reason why I love Shinobu so much and why I have her at number 1 on my list is the fact that instead of having the overall strength to kill demons and slice their heads off, she decides to inject them with a poison that ends up killing them instead. And that's pretty cool. And the fact that she can keep this like alternate personality away, because the only one that can actually know how she feels is Tanjiro, because he can smell her. And that episode where he ended up smelling how she was feeling and learned the fact that she was angry, and then we see the backstory of her and how she really feels about like how she feels in general about the world. It just made her more likable, because we can see like why she tries to keep this like fake smile on and why she's always smiling at the time, and also due to the fact that she's a beautiful Shinobu is so beautiful, man. Like she's my favorite Demon Slayer character. I don't care what anyone says. She doesn't have the power to chop demons' heads off, so she decides to inject them with poison. She keeps on a fake smile, but yet still is so powerful. She's an insect Hashira, so she's probably not one of the strongest Hashiras, but yet she can do a lot of damage. And considering the fact that she was called in to save Tanjiro, and she nearly tried to kill Tanjiro, but still ended up trusting in him and sending him to the Butterfly Mansion where we meet Kanao, it's still one of the better factors of having her in the show, and that is why she is number 1 on my list. But that is it for the Demon Slayer top 10 characters. I want to know your guys' top 10 characters in the comments down below, or even just your top character down below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications so you know my videos go live. But anyway guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.